Have you ever wanted to fully express yourself, but you think that if you fully let yourself be seen and express how you really want to express, it might be too much for other people? This video is for you because we're diving into how to be fully expressed and still available for connection and the right types of connection. So there's tons of nuance and all that, but that's what the rest of this video is about. This video is actually week 11 from a 12-week course that I used to have called True Love Accelerator that used to be $3,000. It was on healing codependency, finding self-love and inner peace, and this video is now free on YouTube for you because I want to give tangible, practical tools to people, not just more information. So with that being said, if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't watched the other videos, be sure to do so. I'm a little biased, but they're very amazing. Hundreds of people have watched these videos and gotten results, and you should too. Also, check below. There are show notes. There's also a community of people going through this course. I'm also in there, so if you ever have any questions, that's where to reach me. And be sure to share this with a friend. Again, I'm giving this away for free. It used to be $3,000. So please share, please subscribe, comment, join that group down below. And without further ado, here's me from 2019.
This one's all about expression. Like, how do you fully emote? We talked a lot about stress early on in the program, and that ain't good. So how do you make sure that you're not suppressing stuff so that you can not be stressed and you can actually have a little bit more emotional freedom, have a little bit more fun in your life, actually a lot of bit more fun in your life, and just have this lightness to things where you speak your truth, you own yourself, and you have a lot of fun. Because a lot of times, what gets in, let me back up. A lot of times, we can get in our own way out of fear of judgments, what other people think about us, and that's why we suppress things. So we get mad, and so we like don't let it out because of what other people might think about that, or our own judgments maybe of ourselves. So thoughts of ourselves and our judgments of ourselves, and then even what we think other people are going to think about us, is what sabotages your happiness and your expression, really, and then that just creates more stress. So that's what I'm going to talk about this video, is full self-expression. That is ultimate freedom. Freedom to be whoever the fuck you want to be. And guess what? You already have that. The thoughts are judgments on yourself, or what you think other people are going to judge you and how they judge you, and you're so tied up in I want other people to like me so much, like that's going to control your life if you don't get this shit down. So got my notes, and I'm really excited about this video. This is something that I have been diving into a lot recently, more. I've always been this crazy energetic person, but I had a lot of I cared like external validation. I cared so much about what other people thought of me. So it was like I was very outgoing, it looked like, but I was still suppressing some stuff. Like if I saw an attractive person, I would not go up to them. If I had an idea, I was like, it's not good enough. I was suppressing a lot, even though it looked like I was outgoing. To some regard, there was some stuff I was suppressing. So this is how you can stop that self-suppression and have some freedom in your life, right? And as you do that, then you might interact with the world around you. And as you're interacting with the world around you, you might meet somebody, and their best friend may be your future lover. Ooh, I don't know. That's why this is important, okay? So freedom and your own happiness, right? Freedom. Now, this is ultimate needing. Now, we've been talking about needing a lot in the program. That's your breath, your voice, your body. We've been doing it a lot. You guys have been doing it. You've done it a lot, actually. Now, I'm just going to keep pushing you a little bit. That's my job, is keep pushing you and keep pushing you. Because that's why people hire personal trainers, right? Like, you hire a personal trainer so that they can push you beyond what you think you can do. I'm going to push you beyond what you think you can do. So we're going to need even more and get a little bit more uncomfortable, because that uncomfortable feeling means you're riding your edge. You can call it like this, like the edge of your comfort zone, right? You're riding the edge of your comfort zone, and if you do that long enough, your comfort zone will grow and expand. You'll look back and go, what used to be so crippling to me in terms of I didn't know I could ever be comfortable doing something like that is so basic and secondhand now, and now I've got bigger things that are outside of my comfort zone. That's what we're going for, but that happens it's called riding your edge. And like riding the edge of that fine line. You're not going so far outside of your comfort zone that you like, oh my, like it's crippling, but you're also not retreating and staying in the comfort zone for too long. You're riding the line, and as you ride it, it'll grow. And it's just keep putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. And the goal then is to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Ultimately, that's full self-expression. So let's talk about it. Breath, that's, if you guys, we've been doing breath work, just breathing, which is what you need to do. So I want you guys to take 10 deep breaths every single day. Write that down first thing when you wake up. When you wake up, just take 10 deep breaths and drink some water. I guarantee you're going to have a better day. You're going to have a lot more energy. Like, that's so basic. But breathe. Your voice. Are you using it? Are you projecting your voice and speaking here? Are you speaking your truth? Are you speaking up for yourself? Are you even speaking? Use it and be loud. That's okay to be loud. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But, like, use your voice. You could also be singing. And then body, using your body. That's dancing is the best way of expression with your body. So are you dancing? Or is that something, I'm too good for that. I'm not a good dancer, Kevin. I'm not a good singer, Kevin. Oh my God, breathing? I don't have the right lungs for that. That's basically what you just said. So what kills self-expression? Well, we already covered it. Fear of what other people think. And that's why it's easier to sing in the shower or to dance when nobody's watching, because we remove the external what other people think. That's why for a lot of the meditations, the mirror work that I had you guys do in week 2 and the meditation, you have the cathartic meditation on week 5 where you're speaking like and yelling and crying and all the stuff you did. I asked for you to be alone in that because we removed the fear of judgment so that you can fully be in it and fully do the work. Now we're going to kind of like ride that line and get a little bit more uncomfortable. And the more you do that, again, you're interacting with the world and you have freedom in your life. There's always going to be the fear. The definition of courage is to act in spite of fear. So remember that, right? Like, fear is going to be there, but you don't have to let that inner critic be in charge. You're going to own that queen king energy and like, I'm going to do this. Or the warrior, the lover, somebody else can be in control. Anybody but the freaking critic, please. All right. And yeah, all right. And so instead of the world affecting you, let's affect the world. So instead of, oh my God, that person's over there. What are they going to think of me? That's them controlling you. Somebody else's, what you think that they're going to think, or even maybe your own thoughts. If it's controlling you, if it's keeping you from doing what you want, the world is controlling you. Or you can control the world by fully expressing yourself and being yourself. And then the right people will magnetize you and the right things will be created. Maybe. That's really what it's about here, right? So in that, yeah, I already said that. Okay, so we have a fear of being weird and a fear of being too much because, I don't know, somebody said that in the past. It's bullshit, all right? So we have this fear of being weird. I'm so weird, guys. I'm a freak. I'm weird as fuck. And I own it. And I'm free. And I can sleep peacefully at night. But I'm pretty weird. Own the fact that you're weird. What if you could own that instead of like, oh, I'm so weird and beating yourself up because this ain't fucking kindergarten anymore or middle school. You're weird. Own it. And that's the people that actually are the crazy ones that go out there and do shit. Elon Musk, right? Like, he's SpaceX, Tesla, PayPal. Like, those are his companies. And dude's weird. But he's the one changing the world. Same thing with Apple. Same thing with Microsoft. Same thing with anything that anybody's created. The fucking, what is that thing? The that you sit on the toilet and it, like, raises your feet. The squatty potty. That's pretty weird. And they're making millions of dollars. The fucking, you know that tube, that little like noodle, the pool noodles? Somebody's a millionaire because of pool noodles. There's so many, people are weird. So why don't we just fucking own our own weirdness and ride that wave hard? Because that's what makes you weird is what makes you you. So own it, don't run from it. And that's really full self-expression, expressing your weird self. And then having, you're doing this from a higher place, obviously. We've done all this work in this program. I hope that you guys are aware of that. You're not being weird out of a immature place, right? Obviously. But just, it's you, and that's your truth, and that's what's going to happen. Own it, all right? Because you're weird makes you you. We look up to people who don't care about what other people think. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, he doesn't care about what people think, but he actually really genuinely cares about what other people think. But the way he expresses himself is, well, full self-expression, right? Here's one to push your buttons. President Trump, he didn't care about what other people thought, but that was, at the same time, he cared kind of what people thought because he had to win the election, right? So there's that weird duality of it. Like, you people that win in life and they're free, okay? They don't care about what people think. They don't let that control them. But they do, to a degree, care about what people think. That's the weird polarity and duality in this. And a lot of what we've been talking about. There's masculine and feminine energy. There's light and dark. There's caring about what people think and not caring about what people think. There's being tough-skinned and super tender. There's going with the flow and getting shit done. There's having fun, and there's being super serious. There's like this polarity. There's always two sides. Winning in life and fully expressing yourself is being able to integrate both and having discernment on which one is needed and being able to move back and forth, which is why we've done all the work that we've been doing in this entire program. Now I'm just giving you the tools on how to fully emote each one, and that's how you fully more integrate it so you can be happy and express and be yourself. So if you want no stress, then fully express. That's week 2 shit. You guys know this, but again, bringing it around town. If you want no stress, fully express. Because the more expressive you are of your own truth and your own weirdness, you ain't going to be stressed. And especially since you're owning your royalty and you're actually taking care of yourself and you're not being delusional and you're actually creating an environment where you can, if you express yourself, it's important. So if you're angry, are you tired? Do you want to laugh? Are you happy? You want to cry? Let it out. Let it flow ASAP. You want to cry? Fucking cry. If you're angry, yell. But we don't because, that's not appropriate in my work setting or whatever it is. Cool, I get it. All right, if you're in a place where you don't want to draw that attention to yourself, then go out to your car and do it. But do it as soon as possible. Be loud, be bold, be expressive. That's how you free yourself. And that's what love is. That's what freedom is. Being loud, being bold. We look up to people like that. And you're like, Kevin, but I'm not bold. I'm not loud. Okay, well, that I am. What are you becoming? What do you want to create for yourself? Because the more you can express yourself, even if it's quiet. Maybe you're not, right? Maybe you're this. And what you create is a little bit more powerful in the way that it's quieter, it's quainter. If that's you and that's your flavor on how you want to operate your life, do it. But make sure you're emoting and make sure you're letting things flow. And the more time that we suppress, the more stressed you get. You're suppressing tears, you're suppressing smiling for whatever the fuck reason. You're suppressing laughing because it's not the right environment. Like, that literally creates physical stress. Have you ever been in a situation where it's not a funny moment? And this happened to me at church when I was growing up. I remember vividly. We were at church praying, an opening prayer, and my friend made a joke right before, and I was in, I think, elementary school. It was so funny. And everybody was quiet. You could hear a pin drop. And I was holding in my laughter so much, and it hurt so hard because, I was holding it in, right? Obviously, that was the right thing to do, but it caused a lot of, pressure, stress. So you don't want to suppress it, right? Now, a good thing on this is the 3-second rule. So 3 seconds to speak your truth, to express yourself to somebody, to say hi to somebody, to say no to somebody, to start something, to end something, to express something. 3 seconds. You know you should do it. It's in your highest integrity. It's of love. It's through the filter of your heart, and you know that it's the right thing to do. You got 3 seconds to take action. Or ain't gonna happen because you're gonna overthink it and your brain's gonna get in the way. So there's a book on this called the 5-second rule. I had the 3-second rule for years. So it's literally you have 3 seconds. Yep, I should do this. Or yep, I want to talk to that person. Yep, I should say this. Blah! Do it. So you use your I love my sound effects. So you use your body to start walking, or you use your tongue to start talking, your hands to start doing, before your brain even has a rational understanding of what's going on, because that's being in flow state, quite literally. So I'm going to do this, and then your brain goes, oh shit, I guess he's serious, we're doing it. Versus, oh, should I do it? Oh my God, what do they think? What do they think? What if this happens? What if that happens? That's overthinking. So how do you get out of overthinking so you can fully express yourself? Is you get out of your head and you just get into your heart and you start doing it. Give yourself 3 seconds. Something happens, 1, 2, 3, doing it. And you know, your alarm goes off in the morning and you're cozy and you're tired. 1, 2, 3, feet on the floor. I'm serious. I do this shit. If you think about it like this, if you've ever gone cliff jumping or skydiving, 1, 2, 3, and you go. It's just 1, 2, 3, action. Take action on something. It could be, if you want to write a book, it could be like, okay, cool, put it in your calendar and start typing some words. Just get some momentum on it. Reach out to a friend. Hey, I'm going to write a book. Hold me accountable. That action in and of itself takes a minute, and you'll have momentum. You're more likely to get it done versus, oh yeah, I should do that. And you keep going back to your day, right? Oh, wow, I want to talk to this person. Oh, wow, I'm thinking about my lover. I'm going to text them right now. Oh, wow, I want to reach out to my parents. I do it in the moment. I even do that with you guys in the group, right? Like, I have a thought, and I want to reach out to you guys, and I do it as soon as possible because I'm so in the flow with that. And it's just more expression. So 3-second rule, use that. You're welcome. But be loving, be bold, and freaking own your weirdness. Now, these are all great stuff to say. You're like, great, Kevin. Well, it's easier said than done. And I get it. I lived it. I was a shy kid that my hands used to shake when I was talking to people I didn't know. One-on-one, mind you, not in front of a crowd. And so, you remember riding your edge? I rode my edge hard until I got extremely confident in front of a camera and with a mic on, talking to thousands of people. That's home to me now because I've ridden that comfort zone so hard for so long. So there's different things that you can do here for that. Because again, it's not about who you are; it's about what you're becoming. So if you want to be better at interacting with people, or maybe you want to meet the right person organically, you might want to get comfortable opening your mouth. I don't know, and like interacting with people you don't know. So that's full self-expression. And it's also, who you're hanging out with and things of that nature. Now, why don't we do it? Again, fear of judgment of other people. Be too much, be crazy. That's freaking life. Own it. Well, okay, cool, Kevin, but I'm still worried about what other people are going to think of me, or I'm still judging myself. Notice how a lot of this stuff of suppression and stress is caused by ourselves. And it's judgment. It's literally just, I shouldn't do this because of some stupid thing, belief. Regret's pretty heavy. And if you want to think about something stressful, think about regret. Of not starting that book, of not saying yes to that person, of not ending that relationship when you knew it should have ended, with not speaking your truth for way too long, of not, whatever it is, moving to the city you wanted to move to, allowing yourself to have fun, reaching out to people, telling people that you care, being grateful, like sharing that, of not choosing yourself, making you happy. Earlier in the program, I had you guys have an optional homework assignment to go to a graveyard and walk around. And I want you to do that again. And that is a very powerful experience. That's part of your homework for this week. That one is not excusable, or that's a do it. That's your homework for week 11. One of them, by the way, is to walk down a graveyard. Go to a graveyard. They're everywhere. So you shouldn't have a hard time finding it. Google, great. And just walk and be. Turn your phone off and have some respect for the dead. And just open your eyes for a second. And realize that you were going to die. That should drive you to fully express and own your weirdness more than anything. And that'll give you the perspective to, at the same time, genuinely not care about what other people think of you. But still care. Again, duality, right? But you're going to express yourself, and that's your truth. Again, Don't feel like you're ever going to walk over people. I think we judge ourselves a lot. We try to hold back because we don't want to walk over people because that's what somebody did to us. I don't know. So you're not going to do that. You have a pure heart. You expressing yourself, that's never your intention. Motive matters and intention is everything. So if that's not your intention, then you don't have to worry about you causing that negative chain reaction. So your homework is to go to a graveyard and walk around. It's also to daily get uncomfortable with self-expression. So do something every single day that's uncomfortable. It could be, I don't know, telling somebody they have a great smile. That could be ending something. That could be starting something. Like you guys, it's your life, you know, but do something every single day for the next 7 days that is going to get you uncomfortable. And that's going to you're going to push that boundary a little bit further. You're going to look back at the end of the week and be like, wow, like I actually grew a lot. Because you're not in your comfort zone. Again, it's not to overshoot like fucking crazy. It's just to ride that wave a little bit. And sometimes it is a little bit further jumps than others, but you don't want to, if you, I don't know what it is, like, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're crippling yourself, right? Like, it should be a little bit uncomfortable, like, oh, okay, I'm going to do this. 1, 2, 3. And realize that you're not going to die, and realize that that fear is just your primal brain going, they're going to reject me, and then I'm going to die because I'm going to be excluded from the tribe. It's the same thing is happening in your primal brain. We haven't evolved, blah, 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 blah. You guys know that story, right? So just express. And 1, 2, 3, I'm going to do it. If it's uncomfortable, right? If it's different for everybody. On top of that, every single day, you're going to be a little bit uncomfortable. So put an alarm on your phone. Do whatever you got to do to remind yourself. Put a freaking piece of paper on your bed saying, did you get comfortable today? On your mirror saying, get uncomfortable. Whatever it is. So you put it in the forefront of your mind so life doesn't get in the way. And again, uncomfortable could even be being vulnerable and just expressing your gratitude to somebody. Right? It doesn't have to be some crazy thing. Like, it could be good stuff. But using your breath, using your voice, it could be singing in public. You could dance while you're waiting for your coffee in the morning. I don't know. Be weird, okay? It really gives other people permission to be themselves. If you want to help other people, help yourself by expressing yourself. You give other people permission to do that when you do that. Okay? So express yourself. And it's leading by example and not saying, oh, you should express yourself. You should be happy. You should be free. When you're not doing it yourself, just lead by example. And then they're going to be more likely, you're going to give them permission subconsciously to do it for themselves. And you don't have to say anything. Now, you're also, for at least one song a day, going to do something called ecstatic dance. Some of you guys have probably done it. Some of you don't even know what it is. Basically, it's dancing. Yeah. So every single day, you're going to play at least one song. I know you guys are busy, but in the morning, while you're making breakfast, while you're doing your hair, turn on some music and shake your ass. Just dance with no rules, literally like nobody's watching, and have fucking fun. I can't tell you how much that exercise alone is, how powerful that is. And you're like, okay, Kevin's telling me to dance and to walk in a graveyard. That's weird. Well, yeah, it is. And I'm a weird person. But hey, this is what's going to allow you to unlock your full self-expression. Dancing alone, you're utilizing your breath because your heart rate's going to go up. You're utilizing your body. And maybe you can sing along to the song. And the more you can just express and be and not care about what your neighbors think about you, because they probably think I'm crazy. And I don't care. I'm just me. And I'm choosing to own that and be happy on being myself. It beats letting the world control me and being controlled by what I think the world is going to think of me versus just being my fucking self. And I think it's because I grew up so, like, consumed by what other people thought of me, and I was entrapped and enslaved by that for so long that I just pendulum swung in the other direction. I don't give a fuck. But, like, I care about you guys, right? I care about my vision, like my what people think of me, my name, right? That does matter. But at the same time, I'm going to be my fucking self, and I know I have the right integrity and the right intentions and the right heart. So, great, awesome. I'm going to do me. Okay? And that's what I want you guys to do. Dance to one song every single day. If you want to sing along, but be expressive, express. I don't care if you think you're a shitty dancer. I don't care if you have one leg. I don't fucking care. Just emote with your body. use your voice and ride that wave. That, by the way, does not count as your being uncomfortable. Your being uncomfortable needs to happen in relation to somebody else. So the dancing, really important distinction. Dancing is, you can do that by yourself, you can do that with somebody else, whatever. Dance every single day, all right? Dance every day. And then the uncomfortable thing is out in the world. So there are other people involved, okay? That's your homework. And then, you know, if you have a hard time with this, go to a graveyard, walk around, see, wow, this is gonna end. So I might as well love hard and go hard and being weird and be loud and be too much and be crazy, because this is all gonna end. And why would I ever suppress myself and my own heart's desires? Because I don't want to get to the end of my life going, man, I wish I would have. That's what I got for you guys this week. Week 11, get to it. Let me know in the Marco Polo app, what's your favorite song? I want to hear songs. I want to see dancing. I want to hear you sing. Like, put it in the Marco Polo app. You guys are tight. You get it. That's a fun, safe place to do it, right? And to share it. But if that's another stretch, maybe you could share a Marco Polo of you dancing to songs. Come on now. Let's have some fun. What songs? Are you gangster? Are you like going all hippie mode on us? Are you like getting crunk and twerking? I don't know. Have fun, okay? Express yourself. And I promise you, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel like, oh my God, this is insane. Ride that wave of being uncomfortable every single day. And, you know, that's something I do. I have a friend that I you know, there's this app where you like keep in, you create habits, right? And that's one of my habits, and it has been the entire year. Every single day, I have to do something that gets me uncomfortable. And I've grown so much from that one goal alone, it's absolutely fucked. Just get uncomfortable every single day. So after you're loving yourself, you're working on yourself, you're doing the deep inner work with TLA, you might start to notice that you're ready to revisit dating again, or maybe you're not. This video is going to be talking about that specifically to the singles in this course, but if you're in a committed relationship, this is going to help you with how you're showing up to your relationship, because that's going to change because you have changed. So if you're in a committed relationship, this is going to help you with the energy that you bring up in that container of the relationship. That's going to shift it. You've changed a lot, so the relationship is going to change too. It's going to feel different. That's probably why you joined this course, so this is going to help you too. This video, I'm mainly going to be talking to the singles, or if you're in, you know, casually dating again. This is really going to help you in navigating your love life in a new way, because you joined this course because you wanted to stop the toxic cycles, and here we are. Now, how do you integrate it into that new life? Because listen, you've done so much work on yourself in TLA, and what you thought was love before, you're able to see now how it was a trauma bond and all these other things. So true love is going to feel different, and it's going to look different. So you've got to hold it different, and there's just a lot of different. So after having 100 people go through this course, I noticed some frequently asked questions, and I want to address those about dating and being in that available space again. I also want to talk about manifesting your partner and kind of the energy that you have to be in order to do that. And I also just want to be honest, I'm going to be sharing some of my story in this, because I, at the time of me filming this, haven't met my person yet, and I really do feel that that's okay, and it's exactly as it should be. But I, for the first time in a long time, am available for that. And this is just me being candid real quick. Like, for the past, I would say year, almost a year, I've been purposefully emotionally unavailable, because I was going through so much and I was doing a lot of my inner work that I'm glad I wasn't with somebody. Now, you could combat that and say, well, yeah, but like you're growing a lot in a relationship, so why were you like just neglecting that of yourself? I had such awareness of my roots of that intention that it was so pure, and I'm like, I'm actually glad that I'm just kind of working on this right now by myself,
I felt like, okay, I'm like purifying myself and getting ready in a way for that right relationship. So it felt right. And maybe you felt the same thing coming into TLA where you were emotionally unavailable on purpose, and that's totally okay. You know, I definitely had instances come up where I could have opened that container with somebody and I really sat with it, but I just stated my truth and I said, look, I'm going through a lot right now. Like, sure, in a few months, like if this is still a thing, like, then yeah, I'd love to explore this, but like I need to be on my own. And then I stay true to my word and I stopped things. I think that's really important because how many times do you hear people saying like, oh yeah, I don't want anything, and then they like weasel their way in. And I have done that in the past, and I'm gonna be honest. And so really sticking with my word there has been helpful for me. But there's been a shift where I feel like I have space to hold space for a relationship for the first time in my life. And it's because of a lot of work that I've done in TLA, a lot of the stuff that I've shared with you guys, and also deepening in my own practice and just in my journey in my life. I'm in a space where I'm ready to call that in. And so I want to kind of just talk about how to get into that space that I'm in right now. And it's all in divine timing, right? Like, it's not something you can force. I think that there's not a 1, 2, 3 step strategy. It's more of an internal energy. And that's, you know, you have to align yourself with the frequency of love to be able to manifest that pure love. And it really is a mirror for how you talk to yourself, how you hold yourself, right? Like, that's why we do the inner child work, is so you can ease up and have compassion for you. Because that mirrors how you're going to be a parent. How you talk to your inner child mirrors how you're going to be a parent. How you judge yourself or condemn yourself, or if you're hard on yourself, that can in some way mirror how you're judging and viewing others and could be a potential partner. And you don't want to hurt other people, right? So you really need to clean that up in yourself so it can mirror outwards. And I did a shitload of work there because I was very judgmental. I was very tough on myself. I talk down on myself constantly, and I'm finally in a space where I feel like I'm not gonna hurt anybody by that stuff that was me, honestly. So let's talk about it. Self-love can be a mask for avoidance, and this is something that I don't hear a lot of people talk about a lot with the self-love space. Because, oh, I love myself so much, like I don't need a relationship, like I just love myself. And that's more of a wall, I feel, because you're so scared to jump into the relationship and open that container. And look, all you have to do is be honest. Know your intentions. I had that story before in the very beginning of me being purposefully emotionally unavailable. And then somebody called me out on it, and I was like, shit, well, you know what, that's still true. I don't want a relationship right now. And so I shifted the language on it. But I was able to get clear of my intentions, get clear on my roots of where I was at. So that's important for you guys. Make sure you're clear on your intentions. Are you downloading these dating apps and wanting to go out and date again because you're craving attention? And that's okay if you are. But is it of a pure, healthy space? Or are you ready to call in the right partner that we wrote about in your clarity questions in week 1? Really sit with it. And meditation has done a lot for me on that, where I'm able to slow down, and if it's present and persistent over some time, then I know that it's kind of like a pure guidance and it's not just an impulse decision, right? So patience is one of the greatest tests. When you're getting into a relationship and other things, you know, I've known people that have literally met, got married 4 days later, and now it's 30 years later and they have kids and they're happy. I also know people that have taken 8 years to progress their relationship and they're happy. There's not a should. So lose the construct of what you think it's supposed to look like. But I will say there is something for patience and really just getting clear, I think, is the big thing, which is why we did the clarity questions in week 1, which are going to help you in navigating your new love life, because you're able to see, am I compatible with this person? So you got the chemistry, or you've got the spark, you've got the connection, but it's going to feel different. It's not going to feel super fiery and, oh my God, I need you, and whoa, this is changing my life. It will, but it'll feel just a little bit different, because that super fiery, like really fast, is a trauma bond, and it comes from a needing place. But it'll feel a calm, cool, collected, grounded, pure joy
right? So it's gonna feel different. There's lots of difference when you're navigating your new love life. And what I do want to say on that is just getting clear on, cool, so be in the emotions. How does it feel to be around them? Do you feel more like yourself? Is a big question you could ask. And then also, do they match to your clarity questions? And are you showing up as the match for your clarity questions? Because that's going to help you see, are we compatible or not? And while it might be disappointing if you're not, you'll be able to save yourself a bunch of heartache and headache, and you'll be able to move on to the next person. And there's nothing wrong with that. It has nothing to do with your self-worth or their self-worth or anything. You're just not compatible. Okay. That's disappointing. I've had to do that in a relationship where it was a month in, I wanted kids and she didn't, and I was like, well, shit. Because we were madly in love, but hey, look, like, I'm not gonna try to change your mind or any of that shit. Like, you don't want kids, and I know I do. This ain't gonna work. Bye. And it was a really painful heartbreak, but it taught me a great lesson about getting clear and having that from the beginning, right? And also I got a lot more of the patience thing and really getting to know somebody. So, what else? My notes are all over the place on this one, guys. Talked about that. Patience for what you want is really important. Strong and I think I mentioned this. I don't know yet. I've recorded this video before, and this is the third time I'm recording it. So I'll say it again. Independently available is the name of this video. So showing up independently. I think strong independence is kind of shamed in culture for some reason, because you'll repel people and people will be scared and intimidated of you. But they're only gonna be intimidated by you if they're the wrong match. That's gonna be attractive for the right person, and you're not just looking to attract a person, you're looking to attract the person. So own yourself and stay strong in your independence. It's totally okay to fucking love yourself and be confident as shit in it. And you're gonna magnify another person that's just like that. If you want somebody who's strong and loves themselves, you gotta show up as that match. So don't put on a mask and people please so you can get more people's attention and get more options. Own yourself, know yourself, so you can find the one and the option if you want to believe in the one. Even just somebody that matches that, right? So independence is sexy for the right person. Strong and independence is healthy, but it can take an unhealthy turn if you're using that as a wall, right? Oh, like, prove yourself. I'm strong and independent, but you've got to prove yourself in order, if you want to get in here. That's a mask. Strong and independence, but available. Your palms are open. You know what? You're willing to receive, and if that's a big part of navigating a new relationship. If you join my course, you're giving love so much, and maybe the lesson is in receiving. It's really important to be receptive of love, but you get to choose. Just because they show attention to you doesn't mean that, oh, like, you showed attention to me, cool, like, that means we're a thing now, because, like, oh yeah, like, and you make them into what you want them to be and put all these expectations on it. Cool, they're showing attention to you, but are they a match? Do you want to love them, right? Really important to note. And that's why we do a lot of work on self-love, and self-love is preached, because when you're self-loving, you're not needy. You're coming from a place of non-neediness. So then you get to choose. And that's the important thing, is you can't change how somebody loves you, but you can choose whose love you want to spend time with. How they love you matters, and you get to just choose that, but you can't change how they love you. And that's also something really important to note. All of dating is gaining information, to how I see it. You're just cool. So when I show up in this way, or when you're in that situation, that's how you engage in it. That's how you interact in it. That's what you would do. And if you view it as that, information about the other person, but also information about yourself, so you can learn and grow. That's what you'll do, is learn and grow, and it might be a really good fit. But the clarity questions are a huge part for knowing if it's the one, right? Or even if it's not the one, learning an important lesson. If it feels right and you feel more like yourself, it's a yes. You know, I had a friend of mine at the time of me recording this about 2 months ago. He came out of a relationship 3 months prior, and it was like a long-term relationship. I helped him work through some things. And 3 months after that breakup, he met this other woman and was really debating on if he wanted to get into the relationship with her or not. And I said, but he kept rambling about, dude, I just feel so myself, like, and I could never feel this with my ex, and like, it's so amazing. And I'm like, well, why are you scared then? And he's just like, I think it's just, I don't want to fuck it up. And I'm like, well, you don't know the future, you can't control the future, but if you're more yourself around her, that's cool. Let's pan out the worst case scenario and the best case scenario. The best case scenario is she's your soulmate, you have kids with her, you get married, you live happily ever after, and you die together. The worst case scenario is you date her for a few months or a year or however long, and you learn a lot about yourself, you grow as a person, and you have amazing experiences with her, and that draws you closer to the right person. Is that a lost or a losing relationship? No. The only relationship that you can lose in is the one you don't grow from. That's how I see it. And I think that we in culture, we're taught that, like, you're a failure and you've had all these failed relationships because they didn't last forever. It's a very interesting take on it, right? So also just something to note, and that helped him get into the relationship, and he's so happy now. But it's just that fear of surrender, really, and trusting somebody else again. And it's always going to be there, but you've just got to be willing and available, and just show up and say, you know what, like, yeah, I'm going to be willing to love this person and willing to work on myself, and I'm going to be available for their love, and I'm available for it. And you can still stay in your self-love and your independence, but then it turns into interdependence when there's another person. So it's more of mutual agreements and things like that, and not expectations. Expectations are one-sided. I say that this should happen, or I'm thinking that this thing should happen. An agreement is we both agree that these things should happen. Setting agreements and other things like that is really important, and can help in navigating that. But there's always going to be the fear. You just got to be willing to grow, willing to be wrong, willing to love, also available to grow and available to love. Huge. And a lot of this, again, kind of bringing it back to you, is you have to have that internal awareness of, do I feel like I have space for this? That was the question I asked myself. Maybe that's because I'm a man, but I was just like, am I in a good space for this? And I know as men, it's different, because from reading a lot of books, a woman is almost always ready for a relationship, and a man has to feel ready for it. So maybe that's just been my path, but I think when you're coming in a place, and maybe that's old school thinking, but when you're coming at a place of non-neediness, I don't need anything, but I would want to be in a relationship, and I'm actually feeling like I could hold the container with the right person right now, and I want to find that person to love. Then you keep focusing on you and hold it with intention. A lot of this shift is just a shift in intention of, I'm going to be patient for the right person, instead of, I'm going to hunt them, and I'm going to find where they are, and I'm going to do everything I can so they can like me back, right? It's just codependency. No, I'm going to wait for the right person, and our paths will cross. It's trusting that your paths will cross at the right time. And until then, I'm going to keep working on me and keep staying present and keep that connection with me and keep growing in my own self-love so I can have more capacity to hold and to give and to love. Very different way of navigating dating. I'll also say, if you have been playing games in the past, and you may be guilty of that, or you're sick and tired of the drama in the games, clarity questions from week 1 are huge for navigating drama and stopping that. And also, this is internally for me. I don't say I'm going on a date. I say I'm just going to connect, and we're just going to meet up. Right? I might say, hey, let's go on a date, but internally, I take the pressure off of myself, and I just say, we're just connecting. And I think having that no pressure situation will help ease that tension internally of, oh, well, they like me, and oh my gosh, like my old shit's popping up and all these things. just have fun and connect. It gets to be fun, and it should be fun, right? I think I mentioned this before. You get to choose how they love you, align to love, and to manifest it. That's why self-love is so important, and why we worked on that for so long in this course. And that's really that. I mean, get clear internally, from an internal space, what your intentions are and how you're showing up in the world. And if you're not ready for a relationship right now, just honor that with yourself, and don't feel bad for not being available for somebody. And if it's the right person, then they'll stick around. And I've seen that. And I think with relationships, I've interviewed so many people and I've seen so many things. And as a lover of love, I've studied relationships so much. And there's so many love stories out there that there is no should. There is no supposed to. There isn't what it should look like or would look like, whatever. I think what's important is staying true to yourself and staying true with your intentions, staying present and aware of yourself and what's showing up. And the truth really will set you free. When you just get clear on, are we compatible or not? Do I love this person or not? Or is this my trauma and I'm trying to, project something from my past onto this person so that I can make it right and have some reclamation? Or do I actually love this being soul? And also just simply like taking off all that seriousness and just having fun and saying, you know what, I am ready for a relationship right now. Cool. Like, let's get out there and navigate that again. We can't control what shows up, but we can control what we choose. And I think that's really important. So that's where I'm at with things in my own life right now. I'm sure when I get into a relationship, I'll have a lot more to say. But I want to make this video to equip you guys with these perspectives, navigating things. Like, it's totally okay. But don't neglect yourself of what you truly want. Meaning, if you feel like you're ready for a relationship, but you're not because you think you have more healing work to do, listen, you're never ready. You're never going to feel ready. But do you feel willing and available are the main things. And just be honest with yourself, be honest with other people. Staying true to your truth is what it's about. And that will be your compass in navigating your love life from here on out. And I think that also building that connection with your body and staying in tune with your sensations in your body is going to help. So your intuition will guide you. Does it feel like freer or more contracted, right? Like all this stuff that we did in TLA, all of these stuff is tools. You can always go back and watch these videos. You can always go back and, oh yeah, I remember like that one tool that we did, right, with whatever week, and that really impacted you. It's totally okay. Keep using the tools because they're going to help you in navigating life from here on out.